Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. Have you ever found yourself in the drought of life? That is, life just becomes a big drought, a big famine in your life. Uh, you just become dried up within, and there doesn't seem to be many resources to pull from. You don't feel like you can really get through another day, and maybe you're just preparing for death, at least internal death. That is, feeling as though you just can't go on anymore. Well, the story today that we read in 1 Kings chapter 17 should help encourage us in such situations, because there was a widow at Zarephath that felt the same way. She was gathering up sticks to cook the last little bit of flour and to use up the little bit of oil that they had for her and her son to eat, and then for them to die. She felt like that was the last meal that they would have, and then they would simply die. There was a drought that had been carrying on for a very long time. Elijah had called upon this drought because of the wickedness of Ahab. And times were bleak, times were difficult. And again, this widow just felt like she was all used up. All of her resources were used up, and there was no hope. But Elijah steps into her life, and he asks her for a vessel of water. She brings it to him, and then he asks her for some bread. She says, "I don't have any bread. All I have is a little bit of flour and a little bit of oil." And then she tells him the story about her having just a little bit for her and her son to eat before they die. But Elijah says, "Well, cook the flour and the oil and give me the first cake, and then you and your son can eat. And if you do that, God will provide. God will make it to where your flour never runs out and your oil never runs out." And she does so. She gives Elijah the cake, and she and her son eat as well. And then they are provided for until rain falls on the land of Israel again. And so this shows the full provision of God for this widow in Zarephath. And it should encourage us to know that God has a full supply for us as well. Even though we might find ourselves in a drought, even though it might seem as though all of our resources are used up, as though we are drawing on the last little thread of strength that we have, the Lord steps into our lives and he says, "Put me first, put my kingdom first, and all these things will be supplied to you." And the bread can symbolize God's physical provision. The oil can symbolize God's spiritual provision. But through it all, God does provide for us, both physically and spiritually, when we enter into those dry places in life. And so if we find ourselves in these types of situations, similar to this widow at Zarephath, let's be encouraged by her story. And let's put our trust and confidence in the Lord, not looking to ourselves, not becoming despondent or becoming discouraged based on our situation, but lift up our eyes to the Lord. Seek the kingdom first. Seek his desire first, his will first in our lives. Look for ways in which to serve him. And when we do that, we'll find a ready supply, ready to pull us through until the rain falls again, until the drought ends. So this can be in our encouragement today as we do our reading today. And with that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.